control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name. Exactly. It's up.
It started with a rant. Not just any rant, but the kind of Kanye West outburst that leaves even his most loyal fans whispering, did he really just say that? In an unfiltered social media spree, Kanye dropped a claim so outrageous, so drenched in scandal, that the internet practically stopped breathing. He accused powerful forces, yes, even his own family and A-list celebrities, of plotting to put him under a conservatorship, the same kind of legal chokehold that Britney Spears fought her way out of.
They try to suppress you, but that's how they try to categorize.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You see, it ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up. Like nobody is God. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
But here's the kicker. Kanye didn't just point fingers at random. He alluded to names, big names that control not just music charts, but empires. And among those whispers, the ones that really made the industry clutch its pearls, Beyonce, Jay-Z, the king and queen of the music world. Now, if you're new here, you might wonder, how in the world did it get to this? How does a friendship that once seemed like a platinum-selling dream turn into a messy public implosion with rumors of betrayal, power plays, and silent warfare? To understand the storm we're in now, you have to rewind. All the way back to the moment Kanye decided to hijack a night that was supposed to belong to someone else and turned Beyonce into the center of a drama she didn't ask for. It was the 2009 MTV Video Music Awards. Taylor Swift had just won Best Female Video for You Belong With Me. She was 19, wide-eyed, holding her shiny Moon Man trophy, probably thinking about how her life had just changed forever. And then, Kanye, storming the stage, snatching the mic, looking at Taylor, then at the stunned crowd, and dropping the now infamous line, "Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." Gasps, awkward laughter, a sea of confused faces, Taylor frozen like a deer in headlights, and Beyonce sitting in the audience smiling the kind of polite smile that says, "Oh no, don't drag me into this." But Kanye had already done it. In one impulsive moment, he put her right at the epicenter of a scandal she had nothing to do with, at least not directly. What happened next was a PR nightmare. Kanye became the villain overnight, Taylor the damsel in distress, and Beyonce, the silent queen, caught in the crossfire. But behind the scenes, insiders claim this moment planted the first seeds of tension between the Carters and Kanye. Not because of what he said, but because of the mess it created. Jay-Z, known for his surgical precision in protecting the brand, reportedly hated the chaos. And here's where the story starts to twist. Because while the public saw a made-up Kanye backstage hugging Taylor, the industry saw something else. A fracture. A moment when Kanye went from being a welcome ally in the royal court of music to a wildcard who might just burn the whole palace down. What most people don't know? The icy distance didn't happen overnight. There were still years of collaborations, public appearances, even vacations. But beneath the smiles and champagne toasts, whispers grew louder. About money, about loyalty, about whether Kanye could be trusted not to implode and take everyone else down with him. And then, the wedding. Or rather, the no-show. The wedding was supposed to be the ultimate show of friendship, Kanye marrying Kim Kardashian in a lavish Italian ceremony, dripping with flowers, marble, and enough designer gowns to make Vogue salivate. Invitations had gone out to the most exclusive A-list circle, and naturally Kanye expected Beyonce and Jay-Z to be front and center. Except they weren't. Not even a polite drop-in for a quick champagne toast. No public congratulations. No paparazzi shots of the Carters posing against a Tuscan sunset. Just a glaring, deafening absence. The official excuse? Something about wanting to avoid the reality TV circus. But in the gossip trenches, that excuse didn't hold water. Sources whispered that Beyonce hated the idea of being a storyline on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Jay-Z allegedly saw the entire event as a media trap, a flashy spectacle that had more to do with publicity than love. For Kanye, it wasn't just a snub, it was a slap in the face. The man had been loyal. He'd hyped Beyonce's career on national TV, defended Jay-Z in interviews, and now, when it was his turn to be celebrated, silence. From there, the cracks widened. Kanye started voicing subtle and not so subtle digs in interviews, talking about how some people act like family but disappear when it matters. And while he never dropped names, you didn't need to be a Hollywood insider to figure out who he meant. But the real breaking point came in 2016. It was the Saint Pablo Tour. Kanye was in the middle of a performance when he suddenly stopped the music, pacing the stage like a man about to unleash something he'd been holding in for years. And then he went for it. "Jay-Z, call me, bruh," he shouted into the mic. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man. The crowd on control, on playing chess while everyone else is stuck playing checkers. Kanye had just flipped the board in front of the whole world. What followed was months of cold silence. No public reunions, no friendly collaborations, just tension, made worse by Kanye's increasingly unpredictable public appearances and interviews. And then came the ultimate blow. Kanye aligning himself with politics and public figures that the Carters wanted nothing to do with. By 2018, it wasn't just a friendship on pause, it was a friendship on life support. But here's the twist. The conservatorship bombshell Kanye dropped recently, insiders claim it's directly tied to the fallout from those years. And some say it's not paranoia, it's payback. Because according to people close to the situation, Kanye believes that after he crossed them, Beyoncé and Jay-Z didn't just cut him off socially, they used their industry influence to quietly shut doors for him. The kind of doors you don't even realize have closed until the calls stop coming. And if Kanye's to be believed, the conservatorship plot was the final play. The ultimate way to strip him of control and keep him from causing more chaos. But the real question is, who else knew? The whispers started small. Industry dinner tables, after-party lounges, those backroom conversations where no one dares to pull out a phone. Kanye's not just paranoid. He's right, one veteran music executive reportedly said over cocktails in LA. If the Carters want you gone, you're gone. And when you think about it, Kanye's career after 2016 did start looking different. Sure, he still had hits, but the mainstream music media, the award shows, the primetime interviews, the big budget collabs, suddenly weren't calling his name as often. The man who once dominated every cultural conversation was now being framed as erratic, unstable, dangerous even. Kanye swears this wasn't just the fallout from his own actions. He's convinced it was strategic. "They blackballed me," he allegedly told a close friend, not just in music, in fashion, in media, everywhere. And here's where the alleged conservatorship scheme comes in. Kanye claims the same kind of legal trap that Britney Spears was caught in was being quietly lined up for him. Hand-picked lawyers, financial managers waiting in the wings, media outlets primed to paint him as incapable of handling his own affairs. It's a chilling theory. And in true Hollywood fashion, no one on record will confirm it, but no one will outright deny it either. The gossip is that certain high-level players were ready to swoop in, using mental health as the public excuse while consolidating control behind the scenes. And Kanye believes the Carters were at the center of that web, or at the very least, perfectly fine with watching him be taken down. But Beyonce's alleged role, that's the part that sends chills. Because if you know anything about Beyonce, it's that she doesn't move sloppy. She moves silently. No messy interviews, no accidental leaks, just a slow, calculated PR machine that reshapes public perception without leaving fingerprints. People close to her insist she never wanted a public war with Kanye. That kind of drama is bad for the brand, but privately, Multiple insiders claim she hasn't forgiven him for the 2009 VMA moment, the night he stormed the stage and made her name part of a media firestorm she didn't ask for. It's the kind of grudge that might not explode loudly, but festers in the background, waiting for the perfect moment to tip the scales. And here's where it gets even darker. Wait, some say Kanye's conservatorship fears weren't entirely self-generated, that there were actual conversations between industry figures about protecting him from himself, conversations that started getting more serious after his public breakdowns. If true, that means the Carters weren't the only ones watching.